in Hot Topics is the woman who wrote the Bible on breast cancer with the very latest medical breakthroughs and research every woman needs to know. Please welcome back the fabulous Dr. Susan Love. I heard a rumor that breast cancer rates are dropping. Why?
Well, they are dropping, especially in Caucasian women, because of the HRT. When the study came out showing that hormone replacement therapy wasn't so great, the rates of breast cancer that year went down 15% as women stopped taking it.
Wow.
And
only in Caucasian women?
And it's, well, yeah, because in fact, the African American women were too smart to take hormone replacement therapy, or they didn't get to the doctor who gave it to them. So they didn't ride that wave.
I took it.
Yeah.
And I stopped after a while when I started reading everything, but doctors can still tell you to take it.
Well, they're saying, well, the shortest amount, the littlest amount, the shortest amount of time at menopause. And if you're really suffering, I don't think anybody should really suffer. So yes, you can take it, and then taper off slowly over a year. But we really, menopause is programmed in because we don't need high hormones our whole life. And, we have a second part of life we need to do.
What about, I have a really strong history of breast cancer in my family, both grandmothers, my mom, her sister. My mom had it premenopausal.
Okay.
What about genetic programs? I think she's involved in a genetic program right now. Is that something, should I be genetically tested? What's your recommendation for people with a strong family history?
So people have a strong family history like yours, where you've got multiple generations, particularly breast and ovarian or breast cancer, should think about being tested for the gene. And what you want is the woman who has breast cancer should be tested. So your mother should be tested, not you.
Okay.
Because if she doesn't have it, she can't have passed it on to you.
This is one gene, right, that they're looking at?
They're looking for BRCA 1 or 2, breast cancer 1 or 2.
Okay.
And these are the two we know about, the two big ones. And they explain about 50 to 80, you have a 50 to 80% risk if you have one of those genes. That's what Christina Applegate had.
Exactly.
But 70% of women do not have the gene who get it.
The majority of women who get breast cancer not only don't have the gene, they don't have any of the risk factors that we talk about.
So what's causing it?
That's what we need to know.
We keep getting these studies.
We don't know what causes it.
If you weigh more at birth, you're more at risk. If you're longer at birth, you're more at risk. If you breastfeed your baby, you reduce your risk.
Everything.
If you eat coffee, you're this. If you're tall, you're... I mean, how do we know?
Well, it's because we don't know. And so they're looking at these observational things and trying to guess, but it doesn't really tell you the answer. I really think we have to change the focus. We spent a lot of time and money on improving the treatment and diagnosis, and that's great, but we need to know what causes it, and we need to stop it.
But then how can we have the breast cancer vaccine? I'm told that there is a breast cancer vaccine possible. Is it?
Well, if we now look at cancer of the cervix.
Right.
Okay, and cancer of the cervix, this is how you know we can really do this. When I started and was a resident, if you had an abnormal pap smear, hysterectomy, because we didn't know what else to do.
Right.
Then we figured out it was local, that was good. Then we figured out it was sexually transmitted, that was good. And then we figured out it was caused by a virus, HPV. And now we have a vaccine. 30 years, we went from not knowing what we were doing to having a vaccine. I have a cousin who had a hysterectomy, and my daughter was vaccinated.
And yet there are people who object to that vaccine because they think it encourages early sexual activity. What do you say to those people?
I say give it to all girls when they go into middle school. Don't even talk about sex. They get meningitis. They get all these other vaccines. Just say, here's another shot. Just take it.
Now, you have just launched a very exciting program on your website called Army of Women. Can you tell us about that?
Well, this is because of my frustration about not knowing the cause. So the Avon Foundation joined with us, the Dr. Susan Love Research Foundation, and we have the Love Avon Army of Women. And we're recruiting 1 million women who are willing to participate in research. Just like eHarmony. You're not signing up for a study. You're signing up to look at the dates, look at the possible studies.
Just for a drink.
And then if it matches, if we say we want 100 women who are African American and postmenopausal, then Whoopi might sign up. And then you'd say, no, sorry, can't do it. But you might send it to a friend. And then we get researchers to move out of the lab, move out of the rats, and move to women to figure out the real cause. And we need all women.
So when we go, what can we do?
So you go to armyofwomen.org. You can sign right up there. We need 1 million women. We need old women, young women, black women, white women, Asian. We need everybody, because if we're not all represented, we won't get the answer for everybody.
Cool.
And we're going to get those scientists to move away from rats. We can cure cancer in rats.
Yeah.
Well,
and figure it out in women.
You got everything. You got postmenopausal, horny women, everybody.
So,
The average age, by the way, tell them this. The average age of the woman who gets breast cancer is what?
In this country, it's 64.
64.
In white women, but it's younger in black women.
yeah.
And
Why aren't the statistics dropping in the African? You know what? In the black community.
because there's not enough research going on in the black community, because we don't understand it, because we need to force them to do that. We women have to say okay and take control of it. We've been wearing pink and raising funds. Now we got to say we need you to do the research on what causes it and how can we prevent it
Maybe
in
Laura
all
Bush
women.
will take that up because she's very involved in this. That would be something for Laura.
And you know what? To find out how you can join the army of women, because I'm going to join.
We are.
We're all going to do it. Check out our website. We'll be right back with Good Morning America's Robin Roberts.